Mac here. We are back for podcast 67 today. Wow, hard to believe. 67 podcasts. So today I want to discuss something really quick that probably a lot of people know or don't know. I've been listening to online a lot this podcast. For those of you who are fans of his, you'll know who I'm talking about. But if you don't know, I'll just fill you guys in on. There's a podcaster that I like. His name is Jerry Callahan. He was on a sports station for a long time called WEEI. It was a radio station in Boston for about 25 years. And what I found very appalling is that first it was in the morning. He used to do a show called Dennis and Callahan Show. It was like from 6 to 10, something like that. Yeah, 6 to 10 every morning with John Dennis, who was also a sports broadcaster. And a few years ago, John Dennis had left the EI for just, issues, whatever. And then it was Kirk and Callahan for a while in the EI for a long time. And what I found really absurd is that a activist named Bob Murchison went after WEI's advertisers all because they said a joke that apparently he found offensive. And I didn't find it offensive. I thought they were just joking around. But I didn't like how this activist Murchison guy would call advertisers to drop the station. And I would never, ever think of someone that how would they even think of doing something like that to get them dropped? And one of Jerry's co-partners, his name, who I love also, his name is Kirk Minahan. He is a broadcaster who loves, he's pretty edgy. He likes like weird stuff. He's like an edgy kind of a guy. He likes edgy humor. He's kind of crazy, kind of a kooky guy, which I like. I like people like that. And when that activist went after Jerry Murchison, he also went after Kirk too for making some jokes, I guess, that he didn't find funny at all. And then the show was canceled, all because of one thing that was said that they made jokes about. And Kirk Minahan, who I also like, has a podcast called The Kirk Minahan Show. And it's taking some time off for a while due to some personal issues, I guess. But Kirk kind of gave Jerry the idea to do his own podcast. And I hope at some point that Jerry listens to this. And Jerry, would love to have you on. That'd be really fun to debate stuff. He's a no-nonsense kind of a guy. And he's just a guy who I think is really, really honest and upfront. That's why I love him, because he's direct. And you shouldn't be PC. You should be who you are. Don't subscribe to the PC agenda. Say what you want to say. Don't worry about the consequences. That's what I always say. Don't, say what you feel. Don't be silenced. Don't let people silence you what you can and can't say. Say what you want to say. Freedom of expression. That's what I think. It's time for us to stand up to the cancel culture and say, we're going to say what we want to say. But Jerry he also wrote for Sports Illustrated for a while. And I also like a podcaster also named Howie Carr, who is also a veteran radio show host. He does his show every afternoons from 3 to 6, Howie Carr. And I love his podcast intro. It goes, "It's time. No, strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show." And that's a really cool thing. But what I want to see as a podcaster, I wish my old buddies Lauren and Wally also did a podcast. I would love to see them do it. I think that would be great. Because I listen to it every day of the week. If they could do one, I would love. I wish for that to happen one day. For them to do one, because I think it would be amazing. They could bring back all the old stuff, all the old jokes, all the old props. Meant for me, they could bring back. I miss that in regular radio. It's not funny anymore. Well, depends on the station you listen to, but it's sad that regular radio, the personalities on the air are not really that funny. And again, I want to see guys like Lauren and Wally do their own podcast. I would love to see that happen. It would be great. It would be great. Because then people could really, who don't know them, could get what they're like, But again, this has been great, guys. Thank you for listening to my ramblings for a few minutes here. And we'll be back with Podcast 68 next Wednesday. See you guys later.